glad you all are here today. Thank you for coming. We are going to talk about serving sizes and fast food, eating out, and how important it is to pick the right choices out of those. We're also going to hit on our calorie intake because there's a lot of people today that are either trying to lose weight or gain weight, and calories play a huge role in that. So if you all look at your My Pyramid, on the back of this sheet it talks about your calorie intake. And calorie intake is, or the number of calories that you need is based on your age, your sex, and your physical activity. So someone who is very active is going to have more calories than someone who isn't. And then also, if you're male, you're going to have more calories than females. Most people are anywhere from a 1,200 to a 1,500 calorie diet. So with that being said, the reason that that's very important is that if you're someone that's trying to lose weight and say you have a 1,500 calorie diet and you go above that calorie intake, you're going to gain weight. If you go below it, you're going to lose weight. And if you stay right at that, say you're 1,500 calorie, then you won't see a weight change. So that's one reason calorie intake is very important. Also when we're taking in these calories, making sure that we're eating the right kinds of food based on those calories, and that they're healthy calories. So we know that if we stick to our food guide pyramid and the amount of each one of those food groups that we need, then we're on our way to a healthier diet. So with that being said, you all have a sheet on what counts as a serving, and typically what counts as a serving is if you take the palm of your hand. Usually that is about an ounce. That could be an ounce of nuts. Also, the palm of your hand can be 3 ounces, which could be the meat, the amount of meat that you need. Well, we all know that if we go to a restaurant, we're going to get a lot more than the palm of our hand. That's 3 ounces, and typically you go to a restaurant or you buy meat at the store, you're going to eat twice the amount of meat that's needed. So that would actually be 2 servings of meat. So a lot of times when we're looking at our labels, our food labels, we need to pay attention to those serving sizes, because that will determine whether that would need to be doubled. Because a lot of people will look at that and they'll say, oh, well, it serves 2 and I'm going to eat the whole box. So I just need to count those calories once. But actually, if it serves 2, those calories would need to be doubled. So I hope that makes sense. Also, your thumb is about an ounce of cheese or a tablespoon of peanut butter. That's about all you would need of those. So if you're getting more than that, you're going to have to, you're actually getting more servings. So that means you're getting more of the calories, more of the fat. But it also can mean you're getting more of the nutrients that you need. So just pay attention to what counts as a serving, and your food labels are really important. Some ways that you can help with your portion control would be, of course, to measure out everything. As you're getting something out of a container or out of a jar, actually measure that out. Avoid family-style meals where you're passing around dishes that sit on your table. Actually go ahead and plate those meals, and then you've got your right servings. One other thing is you can use smaller plates. Putting something on a smaller plate makes it where it looks like you have more. So a smaller plate could be a great idea for someone who has to have that visual. Avoid eating out of a bag or a carton, and avoid eating while you're watching TV. Now, we know that a lot of times with food, it becomes a social event. People always eat during the holidays, they eat during social events, and the TV is of course another place. So it's really important to try not to sit in front of the TV or at a social gathering and always think you have to have something in your mouth. If you have to have something, a nice glass of water, or if you have to, eat something, making sure that you're eating something healthy. Some things about eating when you're in restaurants. Of course, choosing smaller portions, sharing a dish with somebody is always a good choice. Another idea you could, when they bring you your meal to the table, taking that meal, splitting it in half, asking for a to-go box, putting that food already in a to-go box, and then you don't have any to look at and try to divide out later. So that's also a good rule of thumb. Sharing with someone. If you can, share with a partner a meal split and order, you can also, some places will let you order a children's meal. So, which we'll talk about just a few minutes about that as far as the portion size. Let's see. Ask for the dressing on the side. A lot of times dressing will add a lot of calories, a lot of fat to your dish. So if you can cut back on the dressing, that's a great idea. If you're going to make a big salad at home, taking that dressing and tossing it into the salad prior to each person getting their own, that'll save on the dressing as well. So normally if you've got your own set of dressing, you're going to dump a lot more on it than you would if you were going to do a family style type salad. Ordering, back to restaurant, ordering from a menu instead of a buffet is always a good idea. A buffet, we always tend to indulge on our food, so it's very important to only get the right amount of food that you need. Do you have a question?
Yes. How much dressing is a serving?
It is about a tablespoon. So
is that a cup, a small
that would
cup?
be your thumb, about the size of your thumb.
And that's from a whole salad?
Yes.
Thank you.
So as you can tell, your thumb is not very big, and that's not a whole lot. That's no different than putting some peanut butter on some bread. That's the serving for that. So just making sure that you're using that sparingly is kind of the key. And also, when you're looking at calorie intake on those dressings, the white dressings are going to be fatter than your oil-based. So if you can do something like a light olive oil or a Italian, a lot better for you than your ranch or your blue cheese.
Even more better than light ranch or light blue cheese?
Yes. Okay. Yes. So, also, a lot of times you want to order a dessert when you're eating out. That's okay. It's okay to eat a dessert, but try splitting one with people, with someone. Also, a lot of restaurants these days are coming up with the smaller portions that are like bite size. So that's always Do you have a question?
Some restaurants will serve what they call senior portions, which are similar to a child's portion.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
And a lot of restaurants will allow adults to order from the children's menu.
And I guess you just have to ask to see
Cracker Barrel has it printed on the back of their menu
where they'll let you do
Oh,
that.
that's nice.
But that's a great example as far as the senior meals, because you do get a big discount on that, and a lot of times they're smaller, so they give you just the right portions. Are there any other questions? No? Okay. Well, with that being said, you all have another sheet in front of you that actually talks about portion control. And the crazy thing is, we talked about kids' meals a few minutes ago, and actually the kids' meal is what we all should be eating if we're going to eat out. It's the right proportions for an adult. So when you're looking at ordering something off of a menu, never try to, there's a lot of number ones, number twos, never supersize or super size. It's okay to eat a hamburger and French fries every once in a while, but that's just something you don't want to do every day. So, it's always great to treat yourself to one. And like I said, you just don't want to overdo it. So, think about that in terms of what a kid's meal is, should actually be what the serving sizes are. Most of our foods these days, if you look at a 12-inch sub, you're going to want only a third of that as far as the the portion control of that. So, you know, we normally, typically these days, will eat half or eat the whole thing. So really, a third of that is what a person should be eating. And then if you were to go and get a egg and sausage biscuit, actually half of that would be a serving. A cookie, an ounce cookie, about a half of that would be a serving. So most of, as you can see the pattern, most of it is half of what you should be eating. Trying to think if I have covered everything. Even one thing that I always like to hit on is talking about your sodas. You know, a lot of people forget that those really can rack up the calories. You know, and when you're someone who only gets a 1,500 calorie diet a day and you're drinking 200 calories just in an hour, you're really wasting calories doing that. So if you can stick to maybe one a day if you have to have that.
So if you don't like sodas, what is the best thing for you to drink?
The best thing for you to drink is, of course, water.
Okay.
You know, water is the best choice. It doesn't have any calories. It's got the nutrients that you need, whereas your sodas don't have any of that, and they have a lot of calories and fat. So.
And even diet sodas, I know this isn't something that you might teach, but they tend to have the aspartame in them, and so different beliefs or different things. So water is your safe bet.
Water is your safe bet, because even if you're looking at the diet drinks, if you will look at your labels, your diet drinks are going to be higher in sodium. And, you know, that's because they're trying to replace something with taking away those calories. So someone who has high blood pressure or is a diabetic, that would not be a good option for them, because they do add some extra sodium to that.